There is no sunrise through the persistent blizzard. The overcast sky merely brightens until it is day. Balthian's steadfast home remains, having withstood the night snowstorm as it has withstood countless others, and its occupants slowly awaken and reconvene in the living room. Fatine and Rusen drowsily emerge from the guest room. Balthian and Jennia are already there, laughing and teasing each other as they collaborate on breakfast for 4. Balthian chops up his personally grown vegetables, while Jennia rolls and powders dough.
Good morning. It'll be a little while until the food is ready.
That's okay. We can wait.
But not long. It's a new day. If the storm is over, we have to go.
Why are you so eager to run off to war anyway?
I'm not. I just don't want the Krizalka to reach my village like they did in the First War.
That's the real reason you joined the Azure Scales, isn't it?
I already told you. I want to serve the kingdom and protect what I love.
Unfortunately, the storm isn't over yet.
Balthian brings his chopped vegetables to the fireplace and deposits them into a pot of boiling water that is suspended above the flames. He then takes his seat at the table and gestures for his guests to sit across from him.
Last night, Jennia suggested telling a happier story, and I know just the one.
For the first time, the memories that fill Balthian's head bring a smile to his face as he begins to tell the tale of a fateful meeting 33 years ago. Balthian rode on horseback through the central eastern forests of the Matysian kingdom on the way home from the Balsavi Cities Alliance. No bandits dared bother him, for at this point it was well known that an Azure Scale traveling alone was the farthest thing from an easy target one could find.
I know, Stalwart. I want to get home too. But soon enough we'll both get our Matysian dinners and long warm baths.
At around midday he came upon a lakeside village along the road, the town of Aesarvil. As the hero rode through the town, he could feel the enraptured eyes of the townsfolk following him. Balthian was used to the near-worshipful attention the blue Azure Scale armor attracted. But this day, he noticed something else in their faces. Desperation.
Excuse me, Azure Scale, sir!
A rugged woman ran up to Balthian and bowed deeply to the knight.
Oh, there's no need for that. What can I do for you?
Yes, 1,000 pardons, sir. I meant no disrespect.
You didn't disrespect me.
Right. Sorry. I just wanted to, well, ask for your help. I mean, you just passed by all those others and they didn't say anything. To think that we were just going to let an Azure Scale walk through and not even try to get your attention.
What is your name, my friend?
Oh, forgive me. I'm Merita. 1,000 pardons again.
Hello, Merita. My name is Balthian. I don't mean to be rude, but I've been traveling a long time and am quite tired. So could you please just tell me what's wrong?
Yes, sir. Sorry. There is a monster near the town, and we need help.
There you go. Wasn't so hard. Don't worry. Of course I'll help.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'll tell our innkeeper to let you stay free of charge. I'm sure he'll agree. Rest up from your journey as much as you like.
Thank you, Merita. Don't forget to breathe. Any idea where I can find this monster?
The sister of its first victim has been studying it. Come with me.
Balthian dismounted, allowing 2 townsfolk to take his steed to their stables, and he followed Merita down to a small home right by the edge of the lake.
Hello in there. This is Merita, and I've got someone with me who can help with our monster problem.
The door opened, and out stepped a tall, impatient-looking woman in her early 20s.
Balthian, this is Jennia. Balthian. He's
an Azure Scale. Who'd you have to bribe to send him here?
Show some respect. He's here to help us.
I was just passing through. Merita says you've been taking notes on this monster.
About time she wanted to use them. Come in, Azure Scale.
Well, I must be off to see to your accommodations. Thank you again, good Sir Knight.
Jennia stepped back into her home, leaving the door open for Balthian to enter after her. She then walked over to a dresser and began sifting through sheets of paper. The home was immaculately organized, almost compulsively so. There were 2 beds in each of the room's far corners. but only one was made. The identity of the other's former occupant was obvious.
I heard about your brother. I'm sorry.
Why? You didn't know him?
No, but I know what it's like to lose people. What happened?
The thing that's out there just plucked him while I was out night fishing. I found his half-eaten body the next day. And then it started happening to people all over the town. 9 in total, I think. All killed during the night. I started looking at its tracks and the wounds on some of the victims. And I started trying to see if I could get a good look at it.
You went out looking for it, alone?
No, I'm not an idiot. I just hid on my roof and tried to see it skulking around.
Huh. That was very brave, but also dumb. You didn't know if it would be able to smell you.
Maybe, but now I know it can't. And I was able to make this.
Jennia held up a hastily made yet well-drawn sketch. It depicted a tall, humanoid figure with 4 arms and an elongated head. Balthian took it and studied it.
Didn't have the best view, but I didn't exactly want to get closer.
4 arms and bipedal. Already narrows it down. What else have you learned?
I was able to find some tracks in several parts of town. They all go towards the same part of the woods. If it has a nest, it's probably there.
I'm not an expert, but I think what's out there is something called an Iskanon stalker. Very deadly, very clever, but also habitual and solitary.
That's good. I thought there was only one, but I wasn't sure. That makes it easier for us to get it.
You're not coming with me.
Why not? I know this thing. I've been tracking it and making plans to go after it for weeks.
You were going to go after it by yourself.
No, I would have rallied the town. I may be just a peasant fisherwoman without any fancy armor or titles from the king, but I can manage just fine if I plan right. Everyone else around here seems to think only an azure scale can help, but you're not special at all. You're just a person like anyone else.
I am here to help you, because this is exactly the sort of thing I've trained for all my life. I'm not your enemy.
I know, but this thing killed my brother.
So, no matter what I say, you're going to sneak out and follow me, aren't you? You can come if, and only if, you stay back and let me handle things when we find the monster.
Deal.
Arrangements were made. Balthian decided that since the Iskanon hunted at night, he would wait until morning to track down its nest and hopefully catch it sleeping. He then went to tell the townsfolk to stay locked indoors while the sun was down, a practice many had already learned by now, and then retired to the inn to rest. As he drifted off to sleep, he found his mind constantly returning to thoughts of his conversation with Jennia. It was the first time in years anyone had spoken to him so irreverently, so honestly, and her words wriggled persistently in his mind until he fell asleep. As the sun rose, the town was shaken awake by a scream. Balthian rushed to the source of the noise and discovered the half-eaten body of a large pig in a barn that had been smashed open. Balthian reassured the farmer that the beast would be dealt with today and hurried to his meeting spot with Jennia. If the monster was now breaking through walls, there was no more time left to waste. Jennia stood at the edge of the lake, staring at the water as she waited. She carried a sack filled with her notes in one hand and a long fishing harpoon in the other. When she noticed Balthian, she greeted him with a nod.
What's that harpoon for? We agreed you'd let me handle it.
I'd rather have something just in case.
Fair enough.
The two began their trek, following Jennia's map towards the likely location of the Iskanon's nest. Despite the nature of their excursion, the red and yellow leaves of autumn all around them were undeniably beautiful.
Hey, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for what I said yesterday. Things have been hard since Lyric died and left me with No excuses. I'm just sorry.
It's okay. And I'm sorry too. I was being rude and dismissive. You've been through a lot, and not many would have your strength.
Can I ask you something?
Of course.
Do you like being a hero?
I don't know.
That's not what I thought you'd say.
What were you expecting?
Probably, yes, I love doing good deeds and basking in adoration.
I have to admit, I used to feel that way. A lot more than I do now. But it can grind you down like any other job.
Not like any other.
You'd be surprised. I just spent a month in the Balsavi cities being a third-party mediator for trade deals.
Wow. Thrilling.
Very.
So why don't you know if you like it?
No one's ever asked. I've just been doing it. I care about the kingdom and the people and what happens to them. I just want to do good whenever I can.
If that's true, that's very rare.
And you know this from staying in one village all your life?
Okay, fair. So am I wrong?
No, you're not.
I always wanted to be a hero instead of a fisherwoman. But it was the family business, so I never had the chance to try anything else. But I probably shouldn't be a hero anyway. Just wanting excitement isn't the right reason to do it.
As long as you help others, you're a hero. Your reasons just determine your attitude about it and how long you can stand doing it.
That makes sense. So, what do you do for fun? You have any hobbies while you're not killing monsters?
I don't think so. When I'm not out on some adventure, I'm training, and when I'm not doing that, I'm usually too tired to do anything else.
It sounds kind of lonely and miserable.
Wow. You're right. I'm giving it up. Good luck with your monster problem.
Okay, point taken. But still, after all the happiness you give to everyone you help, you deserve to be happy too.
So what's your hobby?
I don't know, but at least I know I need one.
My turn to ask you a biting personal question.
Shoot.
This business with the Iskanon and your brother. Forgive me, but it seems like you were waiting for something like this.
I've thought a lot about that the last couple weeks. Why aren't I more upset? My brother is dead. Why do I feel more alive than I used to? Am I a horrible person? And whenever I have to look at my brother's things, I do feel so sad and angry. But taking these notes, tracking the Iskanon, it's been almost fulfilling when I can forget about what it's done. And when I think about what'll happen after we kill it, I don't know if I really want to go back to everyday fishing. So, if you're really asking if I'm a bad person, I don't know. I guess you get to decide.
No, I don't get to decide anything like that. But for what it's worth, I don't think you're a bad person. I've known plenty of bad people, and I'll meet plenty more. You're just dealing with a bad situation the best you can, and helping to fix it is a better way than most.
Thank you. It means a lot coming from someone like you.
A miserable, lonely wanderer who thinks his fancy armor makes him important?
Exactly.
Once I get too old for this, I will need to find answers to your questions. But for now, knowing that I've done good and helped people like you is more than enough for me.
That's good. I didn't mean to discourage you.
If one person asking questions was all it took, I'd never have made it through my first adventure.
Soon, Balthian and Jennia reached the spot on their map. There was a distinct increase in the number of animal bones in the area, but the monster itself was nowhere to be seen. Balthian drew his sword, and Jennia raised her harpoon defensively.
We're close.
Stay close to me. It might attack from behind us.
Jennia put a shaky hand on Balthian's shoulder and raised her harpoon to cover their backs. The two of them inched forward into the disturbed forest bed.
Search for the holes. They tend to burrow themselves underground.
What's that up there?
Balthian looked where Jennia was pointing and saw a large, thin figure wrapped around one of the trees above them.
Oh, Iskanons are not the underground ones. Oops.
Are you serious?
I said I wasn't an expert on this stuff.
How do we get it down?
I'll have to draw its attention and fight it. You...
Stay back, yeah.
Jennia took cover behind a nearby tree, with Balthian positioned between her and the Iskanon. Balthian took a deep breath, then struck the tree with his sword and shouted. The creature woke with a start, leapt off the tree, and landed in front of Balthian. It stretched to full height and revealed its full horror. 2 arms that split off at the elbow into 4 clawed forearms and a large, toothy, vertical mouth. It screeched at the hero, and the fight began. The Iskanon's many hands furiously clawed at Balthian, whose armor barely withstood the assault. The Iskanon's horrid mouth bit at Balthian's head again and again, only for Balthian to block it with his armored arm. This forced him to use his sword with only one hand, preventing the hero from having enough leverage to muster a killing blow. Finally, the Iskanon's flurry of swipes knocked Balthian's sword out of his hands. The beast tackled Balthian, the leaves on the ground crunching beneath their weight.
Jennia!
She was already there, stabbing her harpoon through the monster's oversized jaws and out the back of its skull. The beast's body went limp and fell backwards. Jennia stared at the corpse, in disbelief that the terror of Aesarvil had been slain.
Good job.
Yeah, no problem. The two triumphant monster slayers carried its body back to the village, where they were met with a thrilled and relieved populace. The townsfolk celebrated for the rest of the day, while Balthian and Jennia spent the whole time talking. They spoke about his training days, about the triumvirate fortress, about her unfulfilling life in the village, and about their shared thoughts on the perfect bowl of soup. Finally, as the sun set, Balthian prepared to return to the inn to rest before departing in the morning.
You could stay longer.
I know, but there's always another monster, another town, another mission from the king. Come with me.
What?
Come with me. It's been too long since I've traveled with company. Especially company that, well, sees beyond the fancy armor.
So you want me to just pack up and leave my stable life here to go on dangerous adventures? I'd love that.
Balthian finishes his story and looks at his wife lovingly.
I did travel with him for a time. Eventually I decided I'd had all the adventures I could handle, but we were so in love at that point. So we got married, and we lived happily ever after.
Jennia, how did you know that you didn't like what you were brought up to be?
A lack of fulfillment, I guess. Eventually that's something all of us need.
But you abandoned your responsibilities and told Balthian to do that too.
Maybe. But don't we all deserve to be happy once we've done our part? Even if it is a little selfish?
Hold on. This was all 30 years ago, wasn't it? So why does Balthian look so young?
Hold that thought. Breakfast is ready. After we eat, then I'll answer.
Are you really gonna tell them about...
They have to know.
Rusen and Fatine exchange glances, both curious and concerned. But they hold their questions while they eat the meal jointly prepared by the loving couple in front of them.